It was time for target practice. They picked a beautiful spot. The place was called Rampart Range, a winding network of unpaved roads through rugged national forests in the Rockies, not too far from Dylan's house. For their first extended gunplay, they picked an area set aside for dirt bikes and joyriding on ATVs. An off-roading website urged readers to experience the vistas slowly. Let your imagination run wild as the boulders take on ever-changing faces. 3 friends went with them on March 6th. Mark Maines and Phil Duran, who had teamed up to get Dylan the Tech 9, and Mark's girlfriend Jessica. They brought the guns acquired for the attack, and their friends had a couple more. They packed bowling pins stolen from Bellevue lanes to use as targets, and they took a camcorder. It was important to document historic events. It was cold up there, still plenty of snow on the ground. They dressed sensibly in layers. Eric and Dylan started with their trench clothes on, but worked up a sweat and shed them. They had ear protection and eye gear. Some of the time they wore it. They shot a bowling pin full of lead, and then Eric had another idea. He aimed his shotgun at an imposing pine 5 feet away. He missed, and it hurt. The gun had a vicious recoil, which his arm had to absorb. Every inch you cut a shotgun back magnifies the kick. Eric and Dylan had cut theirs back ridiculously short, almost to the chamber, and now they were going to pay. He directed Dylan to follow. "Try to hit a tree," he said. "I want to see what a slug does to the tree." Dylan punched a 2-inch wide hole in the trunk. They rushed forward to inspect the damage. Eric dug his finger around and produced a pellet. "That's a fucking slug!" Dylan squealed. Eric's voice was subdued. "Imagine that in someone's fucking brain." "It hurt my wrist, the son of a bitch," Dylan said. "I bet so." Dylan was laughing now. "Look at that. I've got blood now." He loved it. Eric kept working the human metaphor. He picked up a bowling pin with a small hole drilled through the front and a crater out the back. He showed off each side to the camera. Entry wound, exit wound. His buddy laughed, but he didn't understand. He got the little joke, missed the big one. The battle was already underway around him. Eric loved foreshadowing. Everyone there was implicated. Only 2 could see. Most of the time they worked methodically to improve their skills. One kid would fire while another stood beside him, calling out results to make real-time adjustments. High to the right, low to the left, left again. Single-barrel shotguns require a reload every round, and that would seriously impact the body count. Eric prepared by drilling himself in a rapid shoot-and-load technique. Every shot was punishing. The blast would tear the barrel out of his left hand and whip his gun arm back like a rubber band. But he learned quickly. Soon he was riding out the recoil to catch the barrel stub as it swung around, snap it open, feed a shell, lock it down, squeeze around, and repeat the process in one fluid, continuous motion. He pounded out 4 shots in 5 seconds. He was pleased. It had all been theoretical up to that point. How much damage could they really do with that gun? They had their answer now. Eric was a killing machine. Eric and Dylan approached the camera to show off their war wounds. Long patches of skin scraped off between the thumb and forefinger, where they needed to work on tightening their grip. "When high school kids use guns," somebody said. Everybody laughed. Maines tried Eric's gun and winced at that hand grip. "You should round that out," he said. "Yeah," Eric said. "I'm gonna work on that." They fired more and showed the wounds again. Bloodier, more severe. "Guns are bad," Maines said. "When you saw them off and make them illegal, bad things happened to you." That got more laughs. "Just say no to sawed-off shotguns." They were on a roll now. Eric grabbed hold of his gun barrel and mugged for the camera. He spanked the firing assembly several times. "Bad." Dylan waved his finger at it. "No, no, no." Dr. Fuselier watched the Rampart video for a few days after the massacre. It showed the final progression from fantasy to fact. It had been a 2-year evolution from frivolous prankster missions to a series of escalating thefts. Eric was turning into a professional criminal. He had crossed the mental hurdle from imagining crimes to committing them. This was how it would feel.